Hello and happy St. Patrick's Day, the holiday where Americans get blackout drunk for fun, the Irish make fun of the Americans, and spirits reviewers on YouTube stop talking about bourbon for a few brief, blessed moments to dive into the depths of contemporary Irish whiskey. And I'm going to be no different. I'm going to review this stuff. Powers John Lane 12-year-old single pot still Irish whiskey. I have talked about this in previous videos because I think rather highly of this bottling. It is in its price range, one of the only bottlings left in Irish whiskey I really consider to be like a value. There's plenty of stuff that's good, but this is the one that's kind of still hanging around as a value. Most of the other stuff I used to go to, particularly the cast strength Redbreast, has kind of crept up and lost a little bit of its sparkle. But John's Lane remains strong. But the fact that it is kind of unique in its value position makes it really hard to find a sparring partner. And I do like to have sparring partners for these videos. So what can I do? Can I buy a bottle of Redbreast 12 or Green Spot? It's siblings it's from Midleton, obviously, the ginormous Midleton complex. Could I buy something like those? Could I buy, I don't know, Bushmills single malt and have this walk all over them? And yeah, I could. I could say, yeah, this is $10 cheaper than those and bottled stronger and better. But where would be the fun in that, right? Could I buy some new up and coming whiskey actually produced in a new distillery? Yeah, but I mean, this doesn't really seem like the time and place for that. I just end up complaining that it's going to be good in the future, but it doesn't quite meet the price that they're asking for, the craft tax, as it were, at the moment. So where's the fun in that? So what I've done instead is I'm going to put this up against this Bladnoch 11-year-old Lowland single malt Scotch whiskey. And at this moment, you should be complaining and yelling foul. How dare I review a Scotch whiskey for St. Paddy's Day? Well, Bladnoch was actually owned by an Irish firm back during the early years of 20th century, up until World War II, really. And if it was good enough for the Irish, it should be good enough for Americans using Irish heritage to get drunk. Bladnoch is one of the distilleries I've been meaning to review on this channel for a long time. It's one of my favorite Scottish distilleries. It's always a character. It's one of the oldest distilleries left in Scotland. It's definitely the oldest one left in the Lowlands. It's kind of the survivor of its generation. Little Mill is gone. Rosebank is gone. St. Magdalene is gone. But Bladnoch and to some extent Auchentoshan still remain. And I kind of have more of a thing for Bladnoch. Its recent history, it was owned by Diageo, or rather United Distillers, up through the early 90s when they closed it and mothballed it. It was then bought by two brothers, the Armstrongs, kind of renovated, rebuilt, and started distilling again under a really, really brutal capacity restriction on what they could distill. And then it went into receivership again about 5 years ago and was bought by, of all people, an Australian yogurt magnate. But the upshot of that is it's back on the shelves widely. And once you get over the Scotch versus Irish thing, I think these two are actually pretty good sparring partners. The Powers is 12 years old. The Bladnoch is 11 years old. They're both unchill-filtered. They're both barley-based. The Powers is pot still style, so there's some unmalted barley in there. Bladnoch is all malted. And this is they're both again both unchill filtered, and this Powers is bottled at 46%, while the Bladnoch is bottled at 46.7. Triple distillation versus double distillation, but again, it's Lowland, so it has its own kind of distinctive style, even though it's double distilled. All right, let's get into these. Ooh, I don't know if you can see the difference in color there. The Powers is considerably darker than the Bladnoch. Neither of these is marked as natural color, but if there's one where I wonder if color was used, it would be the Powers. Oh well. And by the way, if you're going to insist on natural color, if that's the cross you want to bear, that's great. But I'm really looking forward to trying these anyhow. All right, here we go. Powers single malt. Single pot still Irish whiskey, John's Lane, 12-year-old from Midleton. There is a lot number on this, but it is completely indecipherable. I'm pretty sure this was bottled around 2022. It's a busy nose, and it's rustic in a really fun way. Irish whiskey, I don't know how this happened, but Irish whiskey somehow got a reputation for being the light-bodied, smooth one, the easy drinking one. And you smell something like this and you don't really know where it got that reputation. As a matter of fact, if you were watching this and you are an intellectual historian and you know where the Irish equals smooth thing comes from, please put it down below because I want to know where that misconception happened. Yeah. Gummy bears. There's like a nutty thing, but it's almost a confectionery, like almond croissant. That's what this smells like a croissant that's been filled with that almond paste stuff. There's slightly floral too, almost potpourri-like, but nice. Oatmeal, but like raw oatmeal. This is not the cooked stuff. Some dried grass kind of mixed in with the potpourri. Creme brulee, vanilla. That would be. I mean, they're not telling you what kind of cask this is, but I'm imagining it's mostly ex-American, ex-bourbon. There's a little bit of like a more overt fruity thing, like a kind of canned pineapple sort of note. Lipton iced tea. A little bit of cigar, like a Connecticut leaf cigar. Just kind of a mix of really, the almond is in the lead, but really a mix of dessert croissants. So get some apricot in there, maybe a chocolate croissant in there too. And like a nice cafe latte on the side. Not like a burned, gross Starbucks one. This is a latte made by someone who knows what they're doing. Nice. Lots of little tiny things going on this nose. And you can like this is well made. Like and well presented. Like you can just tell this is one they cared about. On the palate, here we go. Whew. Oh, that's nice. Again, rustic, but charmingly rustic. Not smooth. Rustic, but nice. Like a good Cahors or something from southern France. Sorry, wine nerd. Grassy, peppery, black pepper on the peppery side of thing, and very like kind of spicy. Let me unpack what I mean by spicy. Imagine you're making it like a spice cake with the clove and the nutmeg and all that stuff, and you kind of overdo it on the spice. That's kind of what I'm getting on this. You were putting in the clove and the top just fell out, and you're like, you covered the thing in clove, and you're like, but then you decided to make your spice cake with it anyways. That's kind of what I'm getting. Oh, that's good. Almond paste, again. Even a marzipan thing. Apricot. So almond and apricot croissants again. Lipton's again. Oatmeal and latte, once again. There's a kind of tobacco thing here, but it's almost like a cigarette filler, but nice. Lots of old candies happening here. Gummy bears, gummy worms, but also like those little root beer candies. You know those things? One or two of the orange slice candies too. The orange isn't that prominent in this, but it's definitely there. And it's not from most of the time when I get sherry in barley-based whiskey, or orange in barley-based whiskeys, it's from sherry casks, but not in this case. This is from the distillate. This, in some ways, this reminds me of like that Deanston 12-year-old. It's not as heavy and aggressive on the orange as that, but it's kind of doing a little bit of the same thing. It's good. This is good. Lightly ashy on the finish. The finish actually hangs on very well. For, you know, a core lineup Irish whiskey official line, this is a really great finish. It's kind of ashy, and there's tea, like overstewed tea going on. It's kind of grainy. It's just good. It's a good whiskey. And it's not particularly expensive. Like, again, this is, in Chicago, this is around 60 bones, which is $10 less than Green Spot or Redbreast. And I have no idea what people are doing when they buy those instead. No idea. I mean, I do, because those are smoother than this, but they're just wrong. Okay, moving on to the Bladnoch. Bladnoch 11-year-old Lowland single malt Scotch whiskey. Ooh. This is the 2021 release. 46.7% alcohol, unchill-filtered, and they are specifying bourbon whiskey barrel matured. I remember there being some red wine matured versions of this, which is a little bit scary. I'm trying to stay away from those, but here we've just got good old-fashioned bourbon barrel. Lemon. I'm getting a lot of lemon on this. Different kinds of lemon too. It's like it's the pith, the zest, but also like lemon drops, and like tea with lemon. And then vanilla, dried grass, porridge. It's a much kind of denser profile than the Powers. It's harder to pull out individual elements in this. But that doesn't mean it's any less quality. But it's just everything is kind of wrapped around itself. This is going to sound weird, but there's like a pool water note in this. But nice pool water. Kind of a green herbaceous note. So also cigar note on this, but it's more a Candela cigar. So Flor Dominicana, Candela, the green ones, the old movie gangster cigars, those things. Quite a lot of pepper, black pepper going on here too. Orange peel, along with the lemon. And it just smells grungy, like it smells like dirt, but nice. Very lightly floral, less so than the Powers, but it's still there. Some old coffee grinds on the side. It's definitely more citric, and I want to say more subdued, but that's not the right word. Subdued isn't right. It's more just, it smells more dense. See what happened on the palate. Here we go. I will say on the nose, I think the Powers might be winning, which is not. I came into this thinking the Bladnoch might run away with this, but that's not happening. On the palate. Ooh. If you come into this video, first of all, if you come in, if you come into this video with the preconception that Irish and Lowland style whiskeys are light and easy drinking and smooth and therefore not worth your time, you are dead wrong. First of all, thank you for watching this video, regardless of your prejudice. But this is one to just show you what the Lowland style can do. This is terrific. And very substantial. It isn't a heavy whiskey. It doesn't smack you over the head with peat or sherry or anything like that. There's just a lot going on, kind of wrapped into this core of lemon peel, lemon tea, lemoniness, vanilla custard, black pepper, and just like rocks. I feel like I'm drinking gravel, but it's delicious and wonderful, and I want more. God, the mouthfeel in this is fantastic. I haven't even added water to this. It'll probably get better. Delicious gravel. Overstewed tea, porridge, muesli. Muesli with some like mixed berries kind of thrown in there. But it's really the lemon ruling this. A little orange too. I love the mouthfeel in it. If the Powers was winning on the nose, this is running away with it on the palate, just by how this feels in my mouth. And it's led by the gravel. I know it sounds weird to say that the drinking gravel is pleasant, but this is great. Yeah, it's like there's some coffee cake in here, some cinnamon stick, graininess, but so coffee cake with gravel is what I'm talking about, and lemon. Coffee too. It's dense. It doesn't have that kind of breadth of different flavors that the Powers is bringing, but this is so impressive. I've used the word monolithic in the past. Sometimes is in like a bad way, but in a way it's good. It's just kind of how this is. This is a little bit monolithic, and I'm really enjoying it. Awesome. There's a little bit of a sour in there, which isn't lemon. It's not quite vinegary. It's almost dairy-like. Come back to that. Not like it's a ricea or anything, but this is a very interesting whiskey. Okay, back to the Powers. Now that I've added some water, see how it has developed and give it a final score. Ooh. Okay, this is now turned into like a spice cake / pumpkin pie explosion. Yeah, it just smells like pumpkin pie now. Overspiced pumpkin pie. You put in a little too much clove and nutmeg, maybe some allspice. You kind of overdid it, but it's awesome anyhow. Bay leaf. So you're eating your overspiced pumpkin pie with black pepper and a cigar. That's what I'm getting, and I love it. Yeah, this is great. On the palate. As on the nose, it's the sweetness, the kind of desserty qualities, and also the spiciness that really comes forward. So that like that kind of pumpkin pie spice bomb thing, that's kind of winning out here. There's more coffee now too. Substantial mouthfeel. That non-filtration, chill filtration is definitely helping here. Strong finish, grippy finish. Slightly ashy, bringing the pepper, bringing the clove. It's just really good. It is at this price point. This is the best example of Irish pot still whiskey you can buy. In my IMHO, as we say. God, it's good. It's like rustic whiskey dessert or something. I really like this. 86 points. I'm going to give this 86 points. Highly recommended if you need something to get smashed with on Irish, St. Patrick's Day. Oh, I shouldn't say that. Don't get smashed. If you need something to drink with care and appreciation for quality on St. Patrick's Day, this is a great choice. Okay, moving on to the Bladnoch. We shall do the same thing. On the nose. I was hoping this would kind of open up and give me, kind of open itself up a little bit with water. It hasn't really done that. It still smells dense. It's giving me a little bit more orange with the lemon. I love the dirt. There's some grassiness coming through now. Not a whole lot of development, but it doesn't. It's just a classic Lowlander, style nose. It really is. Okay. I was enjoying the pumpkin pie a little bit more, but we'll see what happens in the palate. Let's see if my rocks are still there. Here we go. Oh, bliss. Yeah, monolithic, but in the best possible way. Spice, lemon, rocks. That's most of what this is doing. And this kind of porridgey, oatmeal-y graininess. That's most of what's here. And it's fantastic. God, the gravel and the pepper is so fun. And there is that little lactic note. Almost like someone spoons some whole milk Greek yogurt into my whiskey. But nice. It's not as aggressive as you can get in agave spirit sometimes, but it's there. It's just a little shoulder, a little nudge of lactic goodness. So when I started this video, I thought the Bladnoch was kind of going to pull away a little bit. On the palate, maybe it does, but not so much on the nose. I don't know. These are neck and neck for me. Like the Bladnoch is nerdier. It's more thinky. You have to work harder for it. But I think it gets the same score. Like this isn't also an 86 point whiskey. Do I want to stick with that? Hold on. Yeah, they're right there. They're right there. I really like both, and I really wish both of these got more attention than they do. 86 points for both of these, for both the Powers John's Lane and the Bladnoch 11 2021 release. Thanks for watching. Don't drink too much. Bye.